Welcome to Apartment Luxe, where luxury meets imagination.
Paris has a way of making extravagance feel inevitable, but at $75 million, inevitability becomes reinvention. This penthouse isn't a home, it's couture made habitable. A Louis Vuitton philosophy translated into architecture. The entrance unfolds like the first step onto a runway. A vast corridor stretches forward in symmetrical confidence, a cathedral of couture proportions. The corridor opens like a breath of power into the living room, immense, sunlit, quietly overwhelming. A sweeping wall of glass frames Paris in perfect scale, the Eiffel Tower rising beyond like a couture signature. In here, curves become structure. A sculptural seating arrangement forms a circle of cream velvet and brass, inspired by the natural arc of a travel trunk handle. The sofas seem to float, supported by hidden bases that create the illusion of levitation, a nod to the surrealism of fashion runway illusion. At the center, a coffee table shaped like an exploded monogram buckle anchors the space. It's made of carved white onyx and brushed gold, its silhouette so bold it feels like the punctuation mark of a sentence the room is still writing. The dining room follows as an extension of scale rather than a separate space. A monolithic table of black marble stretches nearly the length of the room, its surface etched with faint LV damier patterns that reveal themselves only when the sun strikes at a certain angle. 14 chairs of sculpted leather and brass line its sides, their silhouettes inspired by the curves of vintage travel trunks. Above, a chandelier descends like a cascade of golden zipper pulls. In the kitchen, the palette shifts lighter, brighter. Matte white cabinetry arcs along the walls like the interior of a trunk lid, stitched with lines of brass that follow the geometry of iconic monogram flowers. A central island rises like a runway platform, finished in creamy stone etched with soft LV floral silhouettes. There is no visible hardware. Drawers open with subtle pressure, like the invisible closures of a custom garment. Past the kitchen, the apartment transitions into its heritage. A gallery hallway unfurls, lined with vitrines containing couture artifacts. The lighting here is softer, more diffused, like atelier sunlight filtered through muslin. Stone floors in this space adopt a warmer hue, like sanded leather. Every echo is intentional. At the corridor's end, a sculptural staircase rises, the centerpiece of the apartment's bizarre genius. Its steps curve upward like a leather ribbon caught mid-spiral, frozen in the moment before motion. Brass balustrades twist in riveted arcs like oversized zipper teeth forming a helix. Above, a skylight floods the staircase with daylight, turning the entire ascent into a performance. The first master suite opens in a sweep of daylight. A monumental bed rises at the center, framed by an oversized headboard shaped like the open lid of a trunk, sculpted in cream leather and brass-edged panels that fan outward in gentle arcs. Behind it, a wall of glass reveals the Eiffel Tower in perfect alignment, as if the room were positioned not for the view, but as an accessory to it. The suite feels like a personal runway, a space where the simple act of walking across the room becomes performance. Furniture pieces seem engineered rather than crafted. A private en-suite bathroom stretches beyond, shaped in curves instead of corners. A freestanding tub of polished ivory rests beneath an arched niche, its silhouette drawn from the curves of LV's monogram flower, softened, abstracted, never literal. Fixtures gleam in brushed gold, as subtle as jewelry worn beneath couture fabric. Even the handles on the faucets evoke miniature trunk clasps, geometric and precise. The walk-in closet occupies an entire chamber between the master suites, a sanctum of couture. Shelving flows in curved walnut arcs, shaped like trunk profiles collapsed into abstract sculpture. Lighting glows from beneath shelves in soft, atelier white. Centered in the space, a sculptural island made of lacquered leather and brass holds drawers lined in silk, each opening with a muted sigh like the whisper of luxury touching air. The second master suite leans bolder. Walls scaled in deep cognac leather ripple with quilted impressions inspired by the Capucine's grain. Brass shelving floats, suspended from the ceiling on thin rods like jewelry displays in motion. A sculptural chaise in white stone and boucle curls beside floor-to-ceiling windows, where Paris spills outward in astonishing clarity. Here, the bathroom features darker stone, a rare chocolate marble threaded with gold. Even the shower is absurd in scale, shaped like a softened vault with walls that glow from within, as if daylight were stitched into the stone itself. The third master suite is the quietest, but not the smallest. Soft monochrome tones, almost white on white, save for a single accent, a brass installation that resembles an unspooled zipper, twisting across the wall like a ribbon of light. Its bathroom is a study in restraint. Matte porcelain basins shaped like simplified LV flowers. A vanity composed of a single slab of marble supported by curved brass ribs. Past the suites, a glass door leads into the atelier, the penthouse's soul. It feels like an artist's church, a soaring space with skylights, sculptural dress forms in matte white, and walls lined with custom cabinetry fitted with brass pulls shaped like abstract monogram blossoms. Tables of stone and leather invite creation. Scissors and rulers rest like relics. This is where couture would be born if couture were born at home, where ideas happen in silence before anyone else has permission to witness them. Beyond the atelier waits the office, a command center of design. A monolithic desk of onyx and brass stretches forward like the prow of a ship. Shelving spirals upward in a soft helix, holding objects both useful and symbolic. Lacquered boxes, books on architecture, chrome sculptures of deconstructed buckles. This space feels powerful, like decisions made here shape more than a day, they shape a brand. The gym is its own shock, a sunlit studio with equipment custom-built in leather and brass, weights with monogram flower etchings, treadmills wrapped in cognac padding, full-height mirrors curve, offering endless reflections like a runway without an audience. And then, the bar. It curves inward like an intimate salon, with a counter of black marble flecked in gold. Shelves glow with backlit bottles housed in brass cages, shaped like architectural versions of monogram petals. It feels like a private club invented for only one person. Finally, the terrace. Paris unfolds like couture across the skyline. A sculptural canopy arcs overhead like the lid of a trunk in motion. Furniture in cream leather and marble forms a series of conversation circles. Daylight touches everything. This penthouse isn't a story. It isn't an artifact. It isn't even architecture. It's the idea that luxury is not what a person buys. It is what a person becomes. A life worn as effortlessly as a perfectly tailored coat. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination. Milan welcomes with a hush, a city where fashion doesn't speak, it breathes. At the highest edge of the skyline, above the couture boutiques and the precision of architecture, a penthouse waits. This is an $80 million Gucci penthouse, crafted like a garment, worn like a crown. The entrance corridor reveals the aesthetic without declaring it. Black marble floors stretch forward like a runway, veined in threads of deep bronze that catch the light and bloom into soft reflections. Walls of cream silk panels rise in quiet planes, trimmed with brushed gold seams so thin they appear stitched rather than installed. The penthouse opens into the living space, and suddenly, the meaning of $80 million becomes unavoidable. A double-height lounge unfurls beneath an atrium, framed with oval arches clad in satin brass. Floor-to-ceiling windows expose Milan like a painted mural. Domo spires rising in alignment with the central axis of the room. Sculptural seating clusters in cream velvet sinuously curve around a monumental table of black marble. Its edges softened by pleated contours, like leather skirts caught in a moment of motion. A pair of burgundy chaise longues flank it, ridged with tonal stitching, reminiscent of the interior quilting of archival Gucci luggage. Nothing here feels themed. It feels authored. From the living room, the dining hall reveals itself as a salon of intent. A 16-seat dining table in creamstone stretches across a gallery of columns wrapped in walnut veneer and trimmed with gold seam lines. Above it, a cluster of pendant lights descends like molten chrome droplets, suspended in a choreography that mirrors falling silk. Chairs upholstered in moss velvet cinch inward around polished brass spines, their silhouettes evoking the fitted posture of couture tailoring. Even in stillness, the room appears to move. The kitchen arrives not as a workspace, but as a stage. Cabinets in matte burgundy lacquer taper at the waist, then flare, as though caught mid-pleat, Countertops in cream quartz appear poured into place, like liquid stone halted at the moment of settling. The edges rounded like the softened corners of Gucci trunks. A central island in black marble stands like a monolith, seam lines inlaid with chrome tracing the geometry of pattern cutting. Beyond the kitchen, a gallery hall elongates the narrative. Here, walnut floors interlock with black stone and couture-sharp chevrons, each transition softened by gold seam lines like darts in fabric. Niches carved into the walls hold curated collections, sculptural moccasins cast in stone, horse-bit forms transformed into sconces, and glass cloches encasing single silk orchids, preserved in resin like botanical relics. Beyond this point lie the bedrooms. The first master suite opens like a private salon. Cream-veined marble floors fan outward in patterns, reminiscent of skirt godets, gold inlays tracing the geometry of a tailor's chalk. A king bed rises from a recessed platform in burgundy velvet, frame trimmed in brushed brass that curves inward, as though nipped at the waist by invisible hands. Behind it, a wall of walnut slats folds like draped fabric, spiraling upward into a botanical relief of moss, tinted stone, and chrome. Furniture arranges itself in personalities rather than pieces. A chaise that curls like a question mark, a pair of curved armchairs that appear to lean toward each other in conversation, a desk of black marble tapering like a fitted shoulder seam. Through archways of cream stone, the ensuite bathroom unfolds. A sculpted bathtub in obsidian marble anchors the room, interior coated in pearl enamel that reflects light with the softness of lipstick sheen. Twin vanities in moss quartz, bow inward like the bodice of a gown, brass fixtures rising from their surface like the stems of brass orchids. A walk-through shower room lined in gold-flecked black stone behaves less like a utility and more like a ritual, the place where a day is rinsed off like glitter after Fashion Week. The second master suite holds a slower pulse. Walnut and gold return in balance. Daylight enters through tall arches that frame the skyline of Milan in compositional alignment. The bed sits lower, wrapped in cream leather with ribbed velvet accents, silhouette echoing the lines of vintage luggage. Seating curls toward a private terrace, where potted topiary and sculpted organic forms suggest the Gucci garden without literal reference. A wardrobe corridor curves behind smoked glass panels, silhouettes of garments drifting like ghosts, couture without bodies, shape without movement. Its bathroom gleams in brushed nickel and quartzite, surfaces diffuse like the reflection of moonlight on water. A vanity of burgundy stone floats from the wall on chrome brackets shaped like softened snaffle bits. Above, a mirror arcs like a saddle cantle, framed in gold, lit from behind like the stage before a show begins. The room carries the scent of sandalwood and silence. The third master suite is the dream: cream palette, gold seams, moss undertones the color of deep gardens. No hard lines, only curves. Walls upholstered in silk and framed with chrome trim form soft alcoves for seating, reading, resting. The bed extends from a velvet headboard shaped like an open book, pages gilded in brass. Bedding folds like garments at the foot of a runway. To one side, an antechamber serves as dressing salon, central island of white onyx underlit like museum glass. Clothing is displayed like permanent collection, not hung, but curated. Its bathroom glows like a gemstone, rose quartz underfoot, cream marble on walls, alabaster sconces casting runway light. A sunken tub recessed into a platform of polished stone reflects gold flecks that rise and fall like champagne in motion. A shower in smoked glass forms a private greenhouse of steam and brass vines. Sculpted, not grown. At the end of the private wing, the penthouse expands again. The terrace reveals itself. A panorama of Milan stretches forward, Duomo spires a heartbeat away. Flooring in cream limestone meets glass balustrades trimmed in gold. Views collapsing into the horizon. Sculptural seating in moss velvet and brushed chrome wraps like a crescent moon. Facing an oval fire pit trimmed in brass like the rim of a compact. It is a stage, a sanctuary, a finale. Then the gym and office. Because even palaces must function. The gym wrapped in smoked mirror and black stone, equipment trimmed in green leather and brass. The office, a temple of walnut and chrome. Desk curved like a bridle and upholstered like a saddle. Power and purpose made cinematic. The bar completes the composition. Burgundy lacquer, gold hardware, marble polished to reflection. A monolithic counter forms a tailor's curve, like a line drawn around a dress form. Bottles rest beneath glass like perfume displays in a flagship store. From here, the apartment feels both limitless and contained, like a secret kept too well. This is the paradox of wealth. Luxury is not what is seen. Luxury is what is felt, what is remembered when one leaves, what cannot be replicated without invitation. Because this home is not decorated, it is fitted, it is tailored, it is worn. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video. Share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination. Inside this $100 million high-rise penthouse, nothing is excessive, nothing is accidental. Every line exists for a reason. This is Givenchy translated into architecture. The arrival is quiet but commanding. The main corridor stretches forward with editorial precision, long, wide, and perfectly proportioned. Walls are clad in pale stone and matte ivory panels, cut with clean, tailored seams that recall the structure of a couture jacket. Each division is deliberate, symmetrical, and exact. As the corridor opens, the living room reveals itself with museum-scale calm. The room is immense, wide, deep, and controlled, its proportions closer to a Parisian salon than a New York apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame Manhattan in sharp contrast, the city's energy filtered through the penthouse's discipline. Daylight enters cleanly, emphasizing clarity rather than warmth. Furniture is sculptural and architectural. Long, low-profile sofas stretch across the room in precise alignment, upholstered in soft ivory and charcoal tones. Armchairs are sharp and elongated, their silhouettes disciplined and tailored rather than soft. Nothing curves unnecessarily, nothing distracts. At the center, a monumental stone table anchors the space, its surface matte and heavy. Additional consoles and benches appear along the room's axis, reinforcing symmetry and balance. Beyond, the kitchen opens as a study in controlled elegance. This is a kitchen designed like a couture atelier. Cabinetry rises seamlessly in matte finishes, aligned with architectural seams rather than cabinetry logic. Surfaces are uninterrupted. Hardware is concealed. The central island is expansive and sculptural, carved from pale stone with sharp edges and perfect proportions. Bar seating is minimal and precise, finished in dark metal and refined upholstery. Appliances disappear behind tailored panels, allowing form and material to dominate. The private wing continues with the same discipline, but the atmosphere shifts inward. The secondary corridor narrows slightly, its proportions still generous but more personal. The first master suite opens as a study in controlled elegance. The room is expansive, wide, and calm, designed around perfect proportion rather than drama. Floor-to-ceiling windows introduce daylight cleanly, framing the city as a graphic backdrop rather than a spectacle. The bed sits centered against a refined architectural wall, articulated with subtle paneling inspired by couture construction. Sharp, disciplined, exact. Furniture is restrained but luxurious. Elongated lounges, low benches, and sculptural side tables arranged symmetrically. Materials remain soft but powerful, ivory stone, charcoal accents, brushed metal details. Nothing competes for attention. The ensuite bathroom feels like a private hotel particulier spa. Stone surfaces extend wall to wall. A freestanding tub is positioned with quiet authority, flanked by symmetrical vanities carved from pale stone. Fixtures are minimal and architectural, finished in satin metal. Light is soft even, and controlled. The second master suite introduces contrast without abandoning restraint. Here the palette deepens slightly. Bone tones give way to charcoal and soft graphite. The architecture remains precise, but the atmosphere becomes more intimate. The bed is framed by a darker architectural backdrop, its lines still tailored but heavier in presence. A private seating area unfolds beside the windows, composed of structured chairs and low tables, placed with editorial balance. The bathroom continues this mood, with darker stone surfaces and subtle metallic detailing, maintaining symmetry and clarity. The third master suite is the most refined and personal. This suite is designed as a couture retreat, still expansive but layered more softly. Walls are finished in pale stone and warm plaster tones, articulated with quieter seams and deeper shadow lines. The bed is placed slightly off-axis, introducing subtle tension within the discipline. Furniture here is tactile yet controlled. Upholstered seating with sharp silhouettes, sculptural benches, and minimal tables. Daylight filters gently, diffused by the architecture itself. Its bathroom mirrors this refinement, blending pale stone with darker accents and precise geometry. The result is calm, intimate, and exacting. The walk-in closet functions as a fashion archive. Cabinetry runs wall to wall in clean, uninterrupted lines. Garments are displayed with museum-level precision, illuminated by focused lighting that enhances texture and material. Central islands act as curated work tables rather than storage. Beyond the suites, the penthouse's remaining spaces complete the narrative. The office is composed and authoritative, anchored by a long stone desk aligned perfectly within the room. The meeting room mirrors this discipline, centered around a monolithic table and linear lighting that reinforces order and hierarchy. The gym is minimal and spacious, designed for focus rather than spectacle. Custom equipment appears architectural, integrated into the room rather than added to it. The bar is understated and refined. Dark stone surfaces, tailored shelving, and controlled lighting create a space for quiet conversation rather than display. Finally, the terrace opens cleanly to the skyline. Stone flooring continues seamlessly outward, and sculptural outdoor furniture maintains the same sharp silhouettes found inside. The city feels close, graphic, and composed, framed rather than romanticized. This penthouse does not chase drama. It does not seek excess. It defines luxury through precision, restraint, and authority, where fashion becomes architecture, and architecture becomes an expression of power. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination. New York rarely reveals its darker elegance, but high above the city, where steel meets shadow, this $100 million penthouse rejects softness. It chooses precision, it chooses tension, it chooses beauty sharpened to an edge. This is Alexander McQueen translated into architecture. The arrival is deliberate, almost confrontational. The main corridor stretches forward with imposing length and scale, more procession than passage. Walls are clad in dark stone and charcoal-toned surfaces, cut with sharp linear seams that echo the discipline of McQueen tailoring. Darts, cuts, and structural lines translated into architecture. As the corridor opens, the living room reveals itself with cathedral-like gravity. The space is monumental, vast in width and height, its volume commanding rather than inviting. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame Manhattan as a jagged composition of steel and light, reinforcing the penthouse's urban severity. Daylight enters filtered, never soft, emphasizing form and silhouette. Furniture is sculptural and architectural. Long, low sofas stretch across the room like dark forms carved from shadow, upholstered in deep charcoal and oxblood tones. Armchairs feel skeletal in silhouette, structured, precise, almost anatomical. Seating is arranged with intent, forming zones of tension rather than comfort. At the center, a massive stone table anchors the space, heavy and unmoving, surrounded by additional sculptural elements. Low benches, elongated consoles, dark metal accents, each piece contributing to the sense of controlled power. The walls are works of architecture themselves. Large stone panels are interrupted by sharp vertical cuts and fractured geometries. Above, an extraordinary chandelier dominates the vertical volume. It is not decorative, it is an installation. Dark metal elements fractured and layered, resembling wings or bone-like structures suspended in motion. The transition into the dining room maintains the same intensity. Here, the atmosphere becomes ritualistic. A long, monolithic dining table stretches through the space, carved from dark stone with sharp edges and commanding presence. Dining chairs are sculptural and tailored, their forms referencing couture silhouettes rather than domestic comfort. Walls remain dark and structured, punctuated by precise architectural seams. Above the table, another dramatic lighting installation descends, angular, fragmented, and deliberate, creating a sense of ceremony rather than warmth. Beyond, the kitchen emerges as a study in controlled aggression. This is not a kitchen designed for casual use. It is a laboratory. Cabinetry is seamless, finished in matte black and dark metal tones, with sharp lines and concealed joints. The central island is massive, wrapped in dark stone, its presence dominating the space like an altar. Bar seating is minimal but sculptural, with angular profiles and leather-like finishes. Appliances disappear behind architectural panels, allowing material and form to dominate. Light is focused, precise, and intentional. The secondary corridor narrows slightly, its proportions tightening with intent. Dark stone walls continue, but here the seams become more expressive. Angled cuts, subtle asymmetry, and shadowed recesses that feel tailored rather than decorative. The first master suite opens as a private couture chamber. This is a space of authority and restraint. The footprint is vast, but the composition is controlled. Horizontal planes, dark materials, and sharply defined edges. Floor-to-ceiling windows draw in the city's steel geometry, reinforcing the suite's urban severity. The bed sits low and centered, framed by an architectural wall cut with precise vertical lines reminiscent of corsetry and tailoring seams. Around it, the suite unfolds in deliberate zones, a private sitting area with sculptural seating that feels almost skeletal in form, a long bench carved from dark stone, and low consoles that stretch the length of the room. Materials remain consistent: charcoal stone, deep oxblood accents, blackened metal, creating a sense of cohesion and power. The ensuite bathroom is ritualistic. Dark marble wraps the space, its veining dramatic and unapologetic. A freestanding tub rests within a shadowed architectural recess, framed like a sculpture. The vanity stretches wide, carved from stone, punctuated by dark metal detailing. Light is low and atmospheric, turning routine into ceremony. The second master suite shifts the mood without losing intensity. Here the palette deepens further. Black, smoke gray, and muted bone tones dominate. The architecture introduces subtle curvature, softening the severity just enough to create intimacy. The bed is positioned against a fractured stone backdrop, its geometry deliberately disrupted, echoing McQueen's fascination with beauty born from imperfection. A private lounge occupies one side of the suite, furnished with elongated sofas and angular chairs arranged in a composition that feels intentional, almost confrontational. The bathroom continues this narrative with darker stone, sculptural fixtures, and lighting that carves the space into shadow and highlight. The third master suite is the most introspective. This is a retreat for contemplation rather than dominance. The room remains expansive, but its layout is layered and asymmetrical. Walls are finished in darker bone and charcoal tones, articulated with subtle reliefs that suggest fabric tension and release. The bed sits slightly off axis, reinforcing the suite's individuality. Furniture here feels more tactile, upholstered seating with sharper profiles, stone tables placed deliberately apart, allowing negative space to speak. Light filters in softly, diffused by the architecture itself, creating a quieter, more reflective atmosphere. Its bathroom mirrors this restraint: stone surfaces, sculptural forms, and lighting that emphasizes texture rather than shine. The space feels private, controlled, and deeply personal. The walk-in closet is treated like an archive. Long walls of dark cabinetry stretch uninterrupted, their surfaces broken only by precise seams. Garments are displayed like artifacts, illuminated by focused, museum-grade lighting. This is not indulgence, it is curation. Beyond the suites, the penthouse reveals its remaining chambers. The office is severe and disciplined, anchored by a long stone desk and framed by dark architectural panels. The meeting room feels institutional, with a monolithic table and sculptural lighting that reinforces seriousness and intent. The gym is stripped of spectacle. Custom-designed equipment appears sculptural and restrained, finished in dark metal and leather-like materials. The atmosphere is focused, almost monastic. The bar is intimate and dramatic. Dark finishes, angular shelving, and low lighting create a space designed for conversation and contemplation rather than celebration. Finally, the terrace opens to the skyline. Here, McQueen's darkness meets New York's raw energy. Stone flooring extends outward, and sculptural outdoor seating mirrors the interior's sharp silhouettes. The city looms close and imposing, framed by architectural edges that feel protective rather than open. This penthouse does not chase comfort. It does not seek to please. It embodies fashion as philosophy, where beauty is sharpened, luxury is disciplined, and architecture becomes an extension of identity. Alexander McQueen's world, dark, poetic, and uncompromising, now exists above the city, carved into stone, shadow, and form. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination. Paris does not compete for attention, it waits. From this height, the city feels measured, and within this $100 million Cartier penthouse, the arrival begins with calm authority. A grand entry salon opens in natural daylight, its proportions generous yet composed. The floors laid in warm ivory stone, cut with flawless precision and polished just enough to catch the light without reflecting it aggressively. From the entry, a gallery corridor unfolds. It stretches wide and unhurried, designed not to move people quickly, but to prepare them. The floor continues in stone, uninterrupted, while the walls shift into a rhythm of frame panels, glass, and softly reflective surfaces. The corridor leads naturally into the living salon. This is not a room designed to impress at first glance. It is designed to endure. The space opens with symmetry and balance, flooded with daylight from tall windows that frame Paris without exaggeration. The seating is arranged with restraint, custom pieces upholstered in silk blend fabrics, their lines clean, their presence confident. A central table in polished stone anchors the room, its surface smooth, flawless, and deliberately understated. Materials do the speaking here. Warm stone, lacquered wood, soft metal accents finished to perfection. Walls are clad in refined panels, broken only by carefully placed art in architectural detailing. The ceiling floats above, clean and uninterrupted, allowing light to travel freely and settle naturally across the room. Beyond the living salon, the dining space reveals itself as an extension rather than a separate statement. A long dining table carved from stone sits centered beneath a refined chandelier. Delicate, precise, almost jewel-like in its construction. Chairs are upholstered in soft neutral tones, their silhouettes elegant, their spacing generous. The room feels prepared for conversation, not performance. Daylight moves across the table throughout the afternoon, emphasizing texture, edge, and finish. There is no need for excess. The room knows its value. The kitchen follows with equal restraint. Designed as a private atelier rather than a showpiece, it is spacious, composed, and immaculately finished. Stone surfaces flow seamlessly into lacquered cabinetry, edges aligned with mathematical exactness. Subtle metallic accents define transitions, echoing the precision of Cartier craftsmanship translated into architecture. Nothing is hidden, yet nothing is exposed unnecessarily. Function and beauty exist in perfect equilibrium. The first master suite opens like a Parisian residence within a residence. The room is expansive, yet perfectly balanced, its layout guided by symmetry rather than scale alone. Warm stone floors extend beneath soft silk rugs, bordered with fine metallic detailing that defines each zone with jeweler's accuracy. The bed sits centered against a refined architectural headboard, upholstered in layered textiles, its form elegant and assured. Tall windows bring in daylight filtered through sheer drapery, softening the city beyond into a calm, luminous presence. Two sculptural chairs, a stone table, and nothing more than what is necessary. Luxury here is expressed through restraint. The ensuite bathroom feels carved rather than built. Stone wraps the space seamlessly, surfaces honed to perfection. A freestanding tub rests beneath a tall opening, bathed in natural light that reveals texture without glare. Twin vanities stretch with measured proportion, mirrors rising cleanly above them, edges framed with subtle metallic precision. Every fixture feels placed, not installed. The second master suite introduces a slightly deeper tone. Materials grow richer, the palette warmer. Walls are lined with refined panels that catch light differently as the day progresses. The bed is framed by architectural detailing that suggests intimacy without enclosure. A private lounge area occupies one side of the room, designed for quiet moments rather than display. Its bathroom follows the same logic: stone, glass, metal, assembled with discipline. The shower feels expansive, the vanity generous, the light perfectly balanced. Nothing competes. Everything aligns. The third master suite is the most serene of all. Designed as a true retreat, it opens wide, uncluttered, and composed. The bed faces the light directly, framed by calm surfaces and precise detailing. Its cabinetry finished like a high jewelry boutique. Glass, lacquer, and soft illumination revealing craftsmanship rather than volume. The bathroom, attached to this suite, is quietly monumental. A central soaking tub sits with sculptural clarity, surrounded by stone that feels continuous and uninterrupted. The atmosphere is calm, controlled, and deeply restorative. Luxury reduced to its purest elements. Between the suites, the penthouse offers moments of purpose. A private office unfolds with elegant authority, desks centered, materials restrained, daylight balanced. This is a space for focus, for thought, for decisions made without urgency. Nearby, a refined meeting salon echoes the language of the rest of the home: stone, symmetry, and silence, designed for conversation rather than ceremony. The wardrobe is conceived as an atelier. Cabinetry rises cleanly, softly lit from within. Jewelry, timepieces, and tailored garments are displayed with the care of a Cartier showroom. Each piece given space, each surface flawless. This is storage elevated into ritual. The wellness spaces continue the narrative. The gym is spacious, luminous and precise, finished with stone and glass. Its scale generous but never theatrical. Movement feels intentional here, supported by calm surroundings and balanced light. And finally, the penthouse opens outward. The terrace unfolds in daylight with quiet confidence. Stone underfoot, refined seating arranged with intention, Paris stretches beyond, present but unobtrusive. The city is not framed for admiration. It is simply there. This final moment defines the entire residence. This penthouse does not attempt to reinterpret Cartier. It translates its values into space. Precision, balance, endurance. A home designed not to follow trends, but to remain relevant long after them. Because true luxury is not loud, it is exact. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video. Share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination.